Hi, I'm Angela Smith here with another episode of Angela's Talk. This one, stop being so fucking helpless. Why do I say that? Often in organizations or in situations in our lives, one of the things that can become overwhelming or can leave us in a state of inertia, leading to depression, anxiety, or everything else, is a feeling of helplessness, like we can't do anything about a given situation. And this is often how people feel in sort of toxic work situations, poor cultures, etc. But here's the thing. We can always change our behavior. And that is actually the only thing that we can change in any given situation without any variability. We can always change our behavior and our actions in a given situation. We can never change another person. So if you have a boss that you don't like, or that is creating a situation that you don't like, or any other situation for that matter, you have three options. One, you can sit there and do nothing, and that's okay if you think you can put up with the situation. Secondly, you can walk away. So you can say, I don't want to be in this situation, and you can walk away. And sometimes that is the bravest thing you can do, but you are not helpless. You can always walk away. The third thing is that you can speak up and you can say something about it, or you can say something to the people around you. Those are always your three options. So you are never helpless. You always have a choice. The second thing about this is if you want to change a culture in an organization or in a team or in a situation that you're in, the only thing that you can do to do that is speak up. Now, this is the thing about being courageous, because that is a difficult thing to do, particularly in a toxic work situation where your psychological safety might not be as strong as you would want it to be. Courage is contagious and it can be practiced. Now that I got from a brilliant book by a guy called Chip Heath called The Power of Moments, and I would thoroughly recommend that book. Courage is contagious and it can be practiced. Movements, and by that, I mean things like climate change movement, feminism, whatever else, they are contagious. If you see somebody speak up about something, you feel more empowered and more able to do that. If everybody sits in silence, everybody will continue to sit in silence. So by being the brave person that speaks up, you are empowering those around you to do so as well. Yes, you might get a bad response from that, from your boss or otherwise. And if that's the case, then you are still left with those two options. You walk away or you put up with it. Courage can be practiced. So a little bit like practicing for a job interview, the more antiquated parts of our brains, I can't remember which one it's called, and the more active conscious part of our brain are not necessarily in sync. There is a part of your brain that doesn't know the difference between practice and reality. So if you're having to have, say, a conversation with your boss or your partner that you don't want to have, practice it. Practice it in private, practice it with a friend. You might feel ludicrous, but genuinely you are training that part of your brain that goes into fight, flight, or freeze mode, that actually it is safe to say these words. It is safe to do this thing. So by practicing that courageous thing you want to do, and by being brave in that practice situation, you're training the bit of your brain that is going into fight, flight, or freeze mode, that it is safe to do so. So courage can be practiced and it is contagious. So the only way you as an individual can influence the culture in your organization is by being courageous and doing something a little bit counterculture. Speaking up about that thing that you saw that you didn't like, or that is making people feel uncomfortable, or that process that isn't working. Yes, you might not get the result that you want, but then that gives you an answer as to what your next action is. And again, if that is quitting your job and leaving it, practice doing that too. Write that email, write it down, have those words, have that conversation, because you're training that part of your brain that it's safe to do so. So stop being so fucking helpless, because you always have something that you can do in any given situation, and you can practice it and you can get better.